You can see the heat, not to mention feel it as it slaps you in the face walking out the door. And the thing is, you think today was brutal?
We haven't seen anything just yet. So says this guy, WBOC Meteorologist Mike Lichniak.
Trying to stay cool.
Yeah, you have to.
It's tough. Gotta do everything you can.
Have to. So, I mean, this is summer.
Right.
We're used to the heat, but this heat?
The little extreme. At least it's not what it's like everywhere else across the country, but you know, we're finally getting up to what everybody else has been experiencing, like out in the plain states in the southeast, where we're kind of gonna get close to 100. I think a few of us get to like 100 over the weekend.
A few of us. They've been well into the triple digits for a while.
They've been into the triple digits forever.
So is that coming here?
Part of it. So we're like stuck between two big ridges of high pressure. We've got the Bermuda high that's sitting on the.
Now remember, I'm pretty stupid here, so dumb it down, science man, to where I can understand it.
Okay, so high pressure, sinking air. It doesn't allow for cloud development usually. It leads to warmer temperatures because you're compressing the air. You're shrinking that space.
Makes it hot.
That's what makes it hot. We're stuck between two of these big ridges in the upper, like where the planes fly. We've got two big ridges of high pressure.
This image right here.
Can we show this?
This is my favorite image.
Katie loves this.
The thing about this image is like I can feel the ice cream on my hands, and I'm just like so uncomfortable thinking about it. And I feel like it's probably going to happen. And it tells a story.
It does tell a story. It tells you how hot it is, and that you're not eating the ice cream fast enough.
Me and you were licking it off our
exactly.
hands.
Exactly. That's not a huge deal.
But yeah. So of course, you know, we make light of the ice cream, but this heat can be dangerous.
This is the point. Like we always talk about, stay hydrated, lightweight, light colored clothes. Like I think we kind of, you know, get to the point where it's like, okay, stop telling me that. We tell you that for a reason because you might not think about it subconsciously. So this is the week that you're supposed to check on the elderly, make sure that they are aware that it's hot, make sure that they are comfortable. Bring the dogs in. If you have outdoor dogs that always hang out outside and they're like, they'll be fine. No, this is that week where we bring them in. And the other thing to remember, stay hydrated. Right. And you don't subconsciously think, you're like, oh, I feel thirsty, I should drink. That's already too late. You need to be hydrating constantly so you never feel that, because once you feel that, then you've gone too far.
So try to stay out of the sun as much as you can. Take breaks.
Right, and if you have to be out in the sun, frequent breaks, find shade, drink plenty of water, and also don't forget the sunscreen, because where the sun angle is, you're going to burn very, very quickly as well.
Yeah. Can I ask a question that might be silly?
Sure.
Will there be any type of ocean breeze? Like, could I get to the ocean and cool off that way, or is it still?
So no, at times the sea breeze is going to help.
Yeah.
The problem is whenever the sea breeze for the next few days comes in, you could spark up a shower or a storm. So on top of that, then you have all this humidity, you have all this big pool of moisture to just wring out, and then you get what happened in Salisbury on Saturday where it didn't move.
Rain.
And you get the dumping rain where it got like 6 inches of rain, over 6 inches of rain north of near the mall in like 2 hours.
Some amazing pictures of the flooding that
it
was very short, very brief, but it's because the rain didn't go anywhere.
Right, because there was no wind to move it. And that's the other problem, is that if you get stuck under one of these highs, there's not much wind to move things around to be able to dissipate it.
Okay, so hot or cold, which do you like?
I'd rather be hot, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I'm one of those.
And he's from New England, which is wild.
I'm one of the weird.
I think I would. Now that I live here, I actually also think I agree that I'd rather be hot than cold, because I did a lot of summers up in northern or winter. I mean, up in northern Maine, and just so much snow, so much cold. When the cold hurts your face, it's not fun, Jimmy.
Yeah. And I went to school in upstate Vermont, so I know the type of cold she's talking about. Once you experience that kind of cold, you just rather it be hot the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I prefer cold because there's only so many clothes you can take off.
Right.
Fair. That's very true.
That's true.
So I'd share that real quick. Of course, we are not the only ones who are baking. Europe is as well. As a matter of fact, we're going to pick Mikey's. Can you hang around for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to pick Mikey's brain about that here. Coming up in just a second. Now, this guy's got the right idea. Cannonball right into the nice, cool water.
I love that. Don't forget to send photos of how you and your loved ones are staying cool during this heat wave. We want to know. Maybe you got creative, you know?
You're right.
Anyway, we've still got WBOC meteorologist Mike Lichniak back with us.
Speaking of the ice cream photo, you know what's interesting?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Leah and I hang out with Leah on the radio on WBOC 102.5 every morning. We were actually talking about this, that there are studies that show that if you eat ice cream, it actually warms your body temperature because of the process
Is it
of
cooling you off?
Yeah, so it's like the instant gratification of cool, but then your body has to warm up to process all the food because you're burning calories.
The Russians said that you would train yourself to warm up by eating more ice cream in the winter.
Right.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Strange.
Extremely. Well, let's talk Europe.
Let's talk
for
Europe.
a minute.
Insane that we're not the only ones cooking. It's all over the world we're dealing with record heat waves. So let's talk about London. You know, usually you think Wimbledon, it's like in the 70s, it's like LA. No, it's not. Record all-time high set at Heathrow Airport yesterday. It was 40.4 degrees Celsius, which converts over to about 105 degrees Fahrenheit.
Really?
Wow.
This morning, they set the all-time record high low. So the warmest temperature for a morning that they've ever recorded on record. I think it was like 72 or 73. So a typical Delmarva summer morning.
Now, our morning show producer just got back from a trip over there, and most don't have air conditioning.
No, and most of Europe doesn't have air conditioning. They're seeing record long heat waves in Portugal, Spain, France. There's like 1,400 people that have died from the heat. Because remember, they don't have air conditioning in any of these historic buildings. So they look so pretty on the outside, but there's no ventilation because the same thing. They have a massive ridge overhead. They have a big high that's just pushing the air down, and there's no air movement. So you don't get those breezes through the windows in order to cool anything off.
And of course, like this isn't normal for Europe, right?
No, this is not normal for Europe. Usually they're like 70s, 80s. You see those amazing photos because nobody's sweating.
Right.
You got those amazing scenes of people dancing in the streets of Spain. That's not happening. And this is, remember, this is all correlating together because you were experiencing climate change. The Earth is warming still. And so as you heat the Earth...
That was going to be my next question, is as a meteorologist, as a scientist, one of the things that you look at is trends.
Right, and the trend is it's still going up. The Earth is still warming. Oh, and on top of that, because, you know, Northern Hemisphere summer, winter, Southern Hemisphere, what was it, last week, Australia set their all-time record low, like -6 degrees centigrade in one of the coastal towns. So there is this correlation where once you start seeing weather extremes from climate change, from the Earth warming, you're starting to see more of the extremes everywhere.
So with this heat, right? We're all
Yes.
probably wondering the same thing. Like, is there an end in sight? Like, when are we looking at? Like, how long is
Okay,
this
this
gonna
one I think is going to be a week. I think there's a chance for thunderstorms next Monday, Tuesday.
And you're still talking Europe.
No, I'm talking
you're
here.
talking
Here.
about us,
No,
yeah.
we moved back
All
from
right,
Europe.
just make sure I'm
We
keeping
took the
up
flight
with
back.
I wanna know where the bus is,
by
that's all I wanna know.
by the way, it was so hot in Scotland that one of the airports had to close because the runway was melting.
Are you kidding?
That's how hot it got. Because you can melt asphalt when it gets too hot. And remember, in Scotland, you're not prepared for
You
80,
don't have
90
to
degree heat.
prep your asphalt.
Exactly. So, anyways, back
Okay,
here,
here.
next Monday, Tuesday, looks like a chance for storms. That should break the heat for a little bit, but then it looks like it tries to surge right back later on that week. So maybe we get a little relief. Hopefully this pattern continues because I don't know if my air conditioner can keep up with the 90s and 100s.
All right, we're out of time, but let me ask you a question real quick.
Quick.
Backing up and taking a look at the bigger picture, the longer trends. What do you think it's going to do next summer?
Too early to tell. We
You
need
want to take a guess?
I mean, the consensus answer is it's got to be warmer, right? Because that's how it's been trending for the
Because that's
last
the trend.
years and years and years and years.
Is that what most meteorologists and
Pretty
scientists
much, yeah. We think that the trend is going to continue, that things are going to get hotter and it's going to get drier. That's the other problem. We get these big thunderstorms that squeeze out a lot of rain, but we don't get constant rainstorms that give us an inch of rain over 48 hours.
soaking? Yeah.
So the farmers are going to have issues, the whole 9 yards.
Meteorologist Mike Lichniak, thank you for sharing what you know and helping us understand what's happening.
And thank you for loving what you do so much.
Of course.
No kidding, right?